Ready? Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everybody. I'm Rabbi Greg Cantor. We are so glad that you are here from TBS and Temple Israel and other friends and family from all around the country. I'm gathering.
If they're watching.
Okay. Well, hello to you too who are watching. And we are so glad you are here to celebrate not only Shabbat, but also as we recommit Steve Stone to being a bar mitzvah. Yes. There's a tradition, by the way, I think it comes from Psalms, that one's life goes to 70 years. So then you start again, and you get to 13 at 83. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe, right? 83. Wow, you wear it well, man. You wear it really well. But we'll hear more from Steve later on this evening, and we are also joined by Barb Seidman and Herman Sharon Snyder, who will be leading us in music. We are so blessed to have you here this evening. Tomorrow will be this morning. And the opening song, you don't need lyrics for. It's in the title, Bim Bam, Shabbat Shalom. We are honored now to be led in the Shabbat candle lighting. There's, by the way, it may be a little confusing, but there's 2 page numbers on every page in my book. You're on either both or one or the other. So, I know, that's a little confusing, but you'll figure it out as we go along. Our opening for lighting Shabbat candles is on page 3, followed by the blessing on page 2.
Or page 121.
Right, page 3/121 and page 2/120. And the director says, smile at the camera.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Zechar Shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Oh, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. Our service continues on page 7/125. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Together, let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world on this day. On this day, our service continues on page 12. Sing joyously to Adonai, raise a shout for our rock and deliverer. Let us come into God's presence with praise. Let us raise a shout for God in song, for Adonai is a great God, the great ruler of all divine beings. We continue now on page 22/140.
Shabbat.
the bottom half of page 27/145. Teach me, O God, a blessing of prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. We continue together as you're able on the facing page with Kazi Pach. Yikada, Shemera, Yamali Rakute, Yamlik Mahute, Behaye, Yome, Ukayin, Shome, Yisrael, Baga, Ubizman, Kari, Vinru, Amen. Heshme, Rabam, Ebora, Leolam, Lomne, Amaya, Ibarak, Vishtabach, Vitramam, Vitnase, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitala, Shemei, Kudashah, Rivu, Leila, Minkol, Birkata, Bashirata, Tushbekata, Benekemata, Damiram, Yama, Vimru, Amen. Our service continues with Baruch Hu, our call to worship on page 28/146. We rise. Page 31/149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Barim. Page 32/150.
Torah
continue together at the very bottom, underneath the little line on page 33/151. Together. Torah is what God has revealed to us, and what we discern of God. Ideas and ideals, laws and mitzvot, our religious heritage. It unfolds our memories of Abraham and Sarah, of Moses, Miriam, and the prophets. Its legislation and explanation, allowing questions that challenge and inspire all the questions for meaning. It is our way of life, a path for our souls, and the design for a better world. We continue with Shema on pages 34/152 and 35/153. On the next page, 36/154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levacha ubechol nafshecha ubechol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shochbecha u'kumecha Ukshartam le'ot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot beinecha uktatam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai B'tem kedoshim le'lohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim V'hiyot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. In the middle of page 39/157, we pray responsibly. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice Next, page 40/158. Our service continues with a prayer for when we lie down and when we rise up and all the moments in between those. Hashkivenu, page 42/160. Page 43.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
Page 44.
Or 162.
Right. Page 47. Yeah, thank you. 47/165. Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. On the facing page.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's beautiful to see both our congregations together and for such a joyous occasion. So, mazel tov. All right. Please rise. We're on page 46 for the Amidah. Adonai Shabbatai Tiftachu fi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. We're on page 48. Please sing with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol HaGibor HaNorah Elyon Gonei Chasadim Tovim V'Komei V'zocher aseh avotim u'le'yigoel lifnei pneihem le'man shemo yahava melech ozer Moshiach u'magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah atah gibor le'olam Adonai v'chayei metim atah rach Moshiach, v'tomel chayim v'chesed, v'chayim v'rachamim rabim, somek noflim v'rofei cholim, u'matir ha'sharim, u'mikayem emunato l'ishei page 59.
52/170.
Oh, Atah Kadosh, V'Shimcha Kadosh, V'Shim B'Chol Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el Kadosh. Okay, my bad. Now we're on page 55. You may be seated. Page 55/173. Please read with me at the top of the page. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai b'kadesh ha'shavah. All right, we're on page 56, and Barbara and Sharon will do Ritzay for us. Beautiful, thank you. Okay, we're on page 59. Please read with me at the top of the page. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, atov shemcha, u'lecha na'eh lehodot. Okay, we're on page 60 for Sholom Rab. Okay, we'll take just a couple of moments here to do some silent meditation, and then we'll finish up with the service.
Yeah.
service continues with a prayer for healing. You can find the words on page 253/371. And for healing of the body and for healing of the spirit, we include in our prayers Joni Abramowitz, Elise Bader, Lucy Carey, Kenny Elliott, Lynn Goldstein, Renee Gordon, Sam Gordon, Grady Holly, Margaret Gerstel Lamb, Ronnie Schatz, Sarah Stone, Lauren Victor, and Debbie Wyman. And
All right, so as tradition is in Temple Israel, you guys have to put up with this. We'll go around the synagogue, and anybody who wants to say the name of someone you want to send a speedy and full recovery to, please feel free to do so. Let's start over here. Anybody else over here? Okay, let's come to the oh, go ahead, Doreen.
Cousin Jerry.
Okay.
Sholom Hewitt, Johnny Ramos, Jennifer Moser,
Okay.
Susan Hamilton,
Gotcha. Ann, go ahead.
Trudy Morris,
Gotcha. Go ahead, guys. Lisa?
Jenny Doe Skyler,
Yep.
Craig Anderson,
Anybody else over here? Okay, go. You're up, man.
Dave Lobb, Kate Hoovers,
Okay. Anybody who didn't get a chance to? Anybody else who wants to? Go ahead.
Gary Singer,
Okay. And I would say Maureen Robert Greenberg, Bob Cohen, Lindy Seltzer, William Seltzer, and Dr. Stephen Stone. Okay.
And before we say amen to all that, again, on the middle of page 253/371.
Page 259/377, and at the bottom of the page, please read with me a prayer for the state of Israel. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawn of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there.
Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael V'Gohalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael V'Gohalo. Parvei, et meditnat Yisrael, Reshit tzedekot Geulatenu. Parvei, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael, Bego Adon. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael, Bego Adon. Ushlach Orcha, Amicha, Lirosecha, Sarecha, Veyotzecha, Veyotzecha, Betachne, Veitzah, Tovah, Milfanecha, Betachne, Veitzah, Tovah, Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael, Bego Adon. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael, Bego Adon. Azeh, et Yadei Meginei, Eretz Kodeshenu, Vikat Kilei, Elokeinu, Yeshua, V'yatet Netzahu, V'tata Shalom ba'aretz, V'simchat olam, V'simchat olam, Liroshrecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael, Bego Adon. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael, Bego Adon. Zu Yisrael, Bego Adon. V'lamor, Amen.
So I'm just going to give a brief introduction and then turn it over to the man of the hour. Our Torah portion for this Shabbat is called Ki Teitzei, which literally means as you go forth. This is Moses' final speech to the Jewish people before they cross over into the promised land. And these are instructions he gives for them to keep in mind as they go forth into the promised land. And of course, if you know anything about Jewish tradition, we don't teach that just once, we teach it again and again every year so that the lessons are refreshed and renewed. And we are fortunate this morning to have someone who goes above and beyond, right? Most bar and bat mitzvah boys and girls, they prepare for Saturday morning. Steve's prepared for Friday night, for Saturday morning, and along with Lisa for after our service tonight and after our service tomorrow. They put so much tremendous work into this special occasion. They are so dedicated, and we are blessed to have you teach us a little Torah this evening. Steve.
At the end of the service, after the closing supper.
Some remarks prepared. Actually, for those of you who are going to be here tomorrow, I'm focusing on some of the details of the Torah reading, which will be done during the day tomorrow. But let me start, first of all, with a big thank you to Laura and Sharon Snyder, Barbara Seidman, for providing the musical accompaniments to this evening service. Music is a very important part of our Sabbath observance, and your participation is much appreciated.
Pull the microphone a little
Mike.
Also, a big thank you to Rabbi Cantor for all the time he has spent with Lisa and me working out the details of tonight's and tomorrow's two services. As people have said all along, it's not a common thing for a bar mitzvah, a second bar mitzvah. Also, thanks to the orthopedic surgeon who put a new shoulder in 2 weeks ago. So if you wonder why I'm wearing this thing, it's because of the titanium. To all of you present in the sanctuary, I thank you for coming to share this Shabbat with me and my family. I suppose I should not be too surprised by this wonderful turnout of friends and family. Recently, I've been studying medieval texts and commentaries on the Talmud, and I encountered a sentence not often seen in Torah studies or heard in sanctuaries like this. It's im ta'achil otam hem yavou, which is, if you feed them, they will come. I would venture to guess that most of you have never been to the bar mitzvah of an 83-year-old man. If you promise not to tell anyone, neither have I. In one way, this whole thing was a challenge, a lot more effort in learning than I anticipated. I got through relearning something I learned when I was younger, 70 years younger, by reminding myself that 13-year-old Jewish kids can do it, even me, and that Lisa learned to chant 4 pages of Hebrew in the book of Jonah for the high holidays. If she could do it, I could do it, I thought. Tomorrow morning I will go into more detail about the history of the second bar mitzvah, but very briefly, for those of you who will not be at services tomorrow morning, the theory is that when a Jewish boy, because initially this was a boys only issue, it was before the invention of the bat mitzvah, when a Jewish boy reaches the age of 13, he then becomes personally responsible for fulfilling his religious obligations. And the biblical lifespan being 70 years, he can, and some do, recommit to that responsibility at age 83. So we all can recognize that a few things had to come together for this one. One, relatively good health. Okay, just surviving to 83 with one pretty new knee and one very new shoulder. Number 2 is interest. I've tried to be a lifelong learner in my profession and my religion. Third, the teachings of a 5,000-year-old tradition are really meaningful to me. And the fourth is that I really feel at home here with all of you, with this Jewish community, with the Springfield community, and the 2 synagogues in which we belong. Both Lisa and I saw this as an opportunity to bring both congregations together to celebrate. Fifth, and finally, it allows those of you who helped us bring up our children see what became of them and meet the rest of the family when they show up tomorrow. Well, it all seemed like a good idea when I thought of this at age 78 and told Lisa I wanted to do it. Well, serves her right. She wound up contributing a lot to this weekend's events, and especially to tonight's remarks. Tomorrow, as all good bar and bat mitzvah boys and girls do, I will talk about my Torah portion Kitetzer. Spoiler alert, it is the one with the most commandments in all of the Torah. 613 commandments, we got more than 10% tomorrow. I'm not going to read them all. There is another Jewish custom, not well known in our time, of writing what's called an ethical will. And that's what I'd like to talk about in the next few minutes. Parents, usually the father, would write a letter to their children in which they try to sum up all that they had learned in life, and in which they would try to express what they wanted most for and from their children and grandchildren. They would leave these letters behind because they believed the wisdom they had acquired was just as much a part of the legacy they wanted to leave their children as were their material possessions. The first ethical wills are found in the Bible. Jacob gathers his sons around his bedside and tries to tell them how they should live after he's gone. And in the book of Deuteronomy, Moses is making his farewell address to the people because he knows he's not going to cross into the promised land, chastising, prophesying, and instructing the people before he dies. A verbal ethical will, if you choose to think of it that way. David prepares Solomon by warning him with whom to be wary of when he becomes king, and asking him to complete the temple. The tradition of ethical will took root during the Middle Ages. It parallels the quest of things. We all have things, and we worry about who will take the silver and the dishes and the Judaic and the Jewish books in our houses. But in the end, it's just stuff, and our behaviors are what really count. For those of you who have read Hamlet, way back when I was in college, a little later than my bar mitzvah, but not so recently, Polonius' speech to his son Laertes in Shakespeare's Hamlet is a good example of what's in an ethical will, concluding with this above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. If you haven't taken it, read it. He pontificates, but it is a wonderful speech and contributes, I think, is part of why Hamlet has been so successful. Today I want to share with my family some components of my ethical will. Actually, I completed an ethical will many years ago, but it's on a floppy drive somewhere, and I have no idea which drive or which computer, because I can't tell you how many computers I bought since the one where I wrote it. So I started again with a lot of input from Lisa. While I invite each of you of a certain age, and you know who you are, to consider what you would advise your heirs to do to make the world a better place, this is really for Parker and Harper, my grandchildren, who aren't here tonight, but will be here tomorrow. And Erica, Jason, Chip, Kelly, and T. And the rest of you can listen in. Not a secret. None of this is rocket science either. And I do enjoy rocket science, fictional manufacturing. Treat all people with respect, and all honest work with respect. No one is better than you, and you're not better than anyone else. When something is missing in your life, give it away. If you're lonely, give your time to someone else who needs it, and you'll lose that loneliness. To have friends, be a friend, and be a good listener. Cherish your family and friends, and never take them for granted. Share your resources, your financial resources, and your time with the causes you believe in, and don't wait to do it. I will never forget how the late Jim Myers pushed me to go on my first Israel mission. Don't wait until your kids are grown, he said. Go now. Go now. And listening to that advice was the trigger for my entry into Jewish activism, both locally and at the national level. It's made all the difference in the direction of my life. And if you're waiting until you have more money or more time, that day may never come. People appreciate your participation as much as they value your dollars, maybe even more. Travel whenever you can. You know about that. Travel whenever you can. Be curious about the world and its diverse cultures. Participate in your community. Your life will be richer and you'll live longer. Invest your time and experiences, family and friends, and in an honest day's work, but minimize getting stuff. You'll just need a bigger place to store it. Grandma and I would love to find someone to take all the stuff we've accumulated over the last 55 years. Does anybody want a Judaica library? Maybe a copy of the Encyclopedia Britannica? Or the Encyclopedia Judaica? Got them all to give away. Your grandmother contributes. Don't throw your clothes on the floor. I wish your grandkids were actually here for this. Somebody worked hard to make them, and you or somebody else out there worked hard to pay for them. From your great-grandfather, Charlie Wall, don't sleep late. The rest of the world is getting up and will pass you by. Stick up for someone who's being bullied. If you don't, you'll remember for the rest of your life that you could have done something. And if you do, you'll be that much more likely to do it again. Listen to your parents. They have your best interests at heart. And no one will love you more except your grandparents, who love you unconditionally always. Try new things. Failure is an option, but that's the way to learn. If someone asks you for money for a cause or for help with a task, give it if you can and you support their goal. If you can't give what's asked, give less, but give it as soon as you can. The requester may be disappointed in the amount, but if you give him or her a quick reply, the result will be acknowledged and the requester will move on to the next potential donor. No one can support everything. It's okay to say no, but say it right away. Exercise. If you start now and exercise regularly for the next 70 years, I can guarantee you long life. And finally, just show up. Show up for your family, for your friends, for your neighbors, and for your community. Shabbat Shalom. That's right. I can use somebody with a blue shirt up here.
I'm coming,
And let's turn to the Elena is on page 282, alternatively, you've got the fact book 586.
We
Please
rise.
rise. And the Elena we use, by the way, which is, let me turn to the correct page myself first. For me, it's 283. For you, it's 583. There are, this prayer is repeated in several places. We chant the Alleluia, the second one on page 282. Continue on page 287, the English at the top together. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. You may be seated. Love each of us for the peace of us we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
Page 293/597. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. And as we continue with each of our congregational memorial lists, we invite you, when you hear the name of a loved one, to rise in recognition of your loved one. Our Temple Brit Sholom list begins with those who died in the past year. Ralph Hurwitz, Hazel Holly, Betty Hurwitz, Mary Bennett, Tammy Adams, and Sonia Richardson. And we add to their names those whose yahrzeit we commemorate: Max Altman, Charles Baer, Patricia Barnhart, Lena Rhea Bowman, Mark Brisman, Thomas Brunner, Harold I. Bergheim, Calvin Cohn, Edmund L. Cohn, William W. Deutsch, Dora Josephson Druckerman, Amelia Eckstein, Gerda Hagen, Elise Jenkins, Morris Kahn, Ernie Kochis, Lily D. Moskowitz, Janet Bailey Muller, Fanny Reitzer, Lucas Jacob Schwartz, Armand Sherman, Herman Elliott Snyder, Harry Spyro, Hirsch Goldberg Poland, Alex Lebanov, Almag Sarusi, Carmel Gotts, and Eden Yerushalmi and Ori Danino. Those last 6 names, of course, being the 6 hostages who perished recently in Gaza, and the Temple Israelists.
Okay, so we actually do it in the opposite order. So we will mark on this Shabbat evening the yard sites of Mark Delory, Florence Levin, Esther Rose Rosenberg, Ruby Abramovich, Leroy Goldman, Sylvia Nagorski, Frank Hornstein, Bertha Lieberman, Sadie Stern Goldman, Yetta Fewer, Leah Goldstein, Simon Cohen, Joseph Fishman, Ray Lieberman, and Arnold Stern. And in the most recent 12 months within our congregation, Joan Lowe, George Mann, David Alexander Rakoff, Abby Lauren Robbins, Jane Pudick, Stanley Weiner, Stanley Fishman, Matthew Tarani, Lisa Castigar, Lila Castigar, Shirley Dunas, Bernice Blitzstein, Michael Schwartz, Dorothy Sherman, Pearl Hoffman, and Anabat Ramiro Cantor.
And if anyone would like to add a name of a loved one you're remembering who died recently or whose yard site you're remembering, please stand up and add their name.
Rose K.
And now in solidarity with all who are standing, we rise together as one blended congregation. Turning to page 294/598, joining together in Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamliv malchuteh, v'chayatom v'yometom, v'chayedecho beit Yisrael, v'agalah v'zman kari v'yiru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah v'barach le'olam olomei omayah, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei v'yishat b'rihu. Le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, tushdachata v'nechamata, damiran v'almam v'yiru amen. Yehei shalom araba m'shamayim, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yiru amen. Oseh shalom b'brama, u'yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Amen. You may be seated. Thank you, Rabbi Stern.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, everybody who joined us. Thank you for such beautiful music from our mother and daughter duo today. We are so grateful. Thank you, and Mazel Tov skiing. You, to Lisa, to your family, and to your friends. Mazel Tov, and thank you again for celebrating with us. After our service, those of you who RSVP'd are invited to join us downstairs for dinner. And we're going to just ask you to let Steve and Lisa and their family give just a moment for them to go first, and we'll follow them afterwards. And our closing song can be found on page 345/649, Tefillat HaDerech. But, okay, there's more?
Well, there's the Kiddush.
Oh, that's right. And we'll have a Kiddush and Motzi here, so that once you get downstairs, all the blessings will be taken care of.
Blessed and sweet,
The Kiddush is on page 5. The notes isn't in the book, but we'll go straight to that after. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei uri ha'yafeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat k'dusha b'ahava u'ratzon v'chilanu zikaron le'maseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah v'lekroi kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim ki anu acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shalat kadshecha b'ahava u'ratzon inclatanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh
And just a reminder, services tomorrow morning will be here at 10 a.m.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Shabbat Shalom.
Tell everybody about